Ladies and gentlemen, we are live from the Isle of Man in the UK. This is John and Mike's MMA Corner.
CJ, look, you're fighting down at flyweight this time in this bout. The two of you, actually, the pair of you, have dabbled between flyweight, bantamweight. Do you just, because of maybe that there wasn't maybe the fights available, is that why you went to, you've dabbled in both weight classes? Do you feel you're naturally a 125er, but you've had to fight 135 in the past just because maybe the fights weren't there?
Yeah, I mean, it was a very great thing that they've added the flyweight weight class, because a lot of these 35ers I fought before. There's guys that I fought that are huge 35ers. So yeah, I think admittingly, I think I am a natural 125er. I mean, I cut weight correctly. I don't really like starve or anything like that. So I think that's a good fit for me at 35. I mean, I can fight the right 35ers, but
yes.
I'm not going to fight a Uriah Faber or anybody of that caliber just because they're just huge 35ers.
Yeah,
my training partner Brandon Webb is a perfect example. I mean, he's fought 55 and 45 as an amateur, and now as a pro, he fights 35, and he is massive the next day after weigh-in. So I kind of keep away from the bigger guys.
Well, the thing is, at least you know yourself that if you do 35, it's the right fight. You're fighting a guy who's probably should be a 125 maybe himself, and he just doesn't like the idea of doing that cut. When I've watched it, I have to say you're very fast. When I watched a bantamweight fight, and you were very quick for that weight class. And I know there's only 10 pounds difference in the classes, so there's not a huge difference in the class, but you can definitely see a speed difference. And one fight that I think not just I say synonymous with you, but it's one that kind of went a little bit. I think it went a bit viral. Was the Brantley Fur fight where that knee, woo. And obviously the uppercut, the uppercut that you set up with that clinch and then that knee. Damn, sir, that was some fine clinch work there.
Yes, sir. I credit that to my coach Chuck Kaufman, just constantly, staying on me about evolving as a fighter. And I mean, I started as a wrestler. I mean, I couldn't throw a jab correctly to see where this man has gotten me where I am now. I mean, and I'm not even. This is just the tip of the iceberg. So, I mean, that fight was fun. I remember going into the corner, going out for the second round, and he was like, just keep having fun. And, when I'm relaxed and having fun, I mean, I perform that way, and, that's how I want to keep performing. But, yeah, I credit that to my trainer, man. He knows his stuff.
And I kind of put you on like a little free fight win streak. It's set you up very well stepping into this fight. Now, I have to say, the fight that you've got here, it's one that I look forward to, especially in the flyweight division. I think the flyweight division is one that people should keep an eye out for, because it's one of the divisions where the guys are going to be very technical. Like, so you said there, you're a wrestler background. I was going to bring that up because do you think that's what helps you be so kind of explosive, having that wrestling background? Because when you fight, you can see that in yourself. These spurts that you fire out. Is that from the wrestling that's helped that?
I believe so. I believe that I've been wrestling since I was 7 years old, and I wrestled, in high school and in college. I'm on nationals twice in college, and I'm a Division II All-American. So, I feel like it has helped me, but more so than the physical ability, the mental ability, because wrestling to me is probably, as far as a collegiate sport, is the closest thing to one-on-one combat, you know what I mean? And I feel like it has helped me mentally too, because I've been in big matches before, and when you're in a fight, to me, every fight is the biggest fight of my life. So I look at it as, okay, I've been in big matches before, it's the same exact thing, and I somewhat approach it the same way, but yeah, I feel like wrestling has really, really helped me out as far as being a mixed martial artist.
So you said before you couldn't throw a jab, and I was the same when I first started. Well, I thought I could throw a jab. And you think you can throw a jab, and then you go to throw one, and then you see someone actually throw it, and you go, actually, I'm terrible, and I shouldn't do this in public. I should hide away in the dark shadows of the night. But did you take a little step back from the wrestling then, so to speak, and focus purely on your striking? Did you spend a lot of time, working on the fundamentals, the basics, and just developing that skill set? Because obviously, if you try to keep the wrestling kind of clock, so to speak, clocking up those hours of wrestling still, it'd be hard to get that focus in on the striking. So did you have to taper down a little bit for a while?
Well, the funny thing is about that question, my trainer Chuck Coughlin, when I first got with him, I was just wrestling, and I trained with Adam and Roy Singer as well, and I'm going down there doing jiu-jitsu, which wrestling helps that out a lot, and Chuck had said, you know what, we're going to take a break from jiu-jitsu and wrestling for about 5 or 6 months. And I was petrified. I was so scared. I did kickboxing tournaments, and I went to the IKF World Classic and got beat up on because I couldn't take anybody down. I mean, like, I can barely check a kick, And at the time, I was like, man, Chuck is just throwing me to the wolves. He likes seeing me get beat up. But in hindsight, it was making me better. I started learning more. I started grasping the whole aspect of it because, if you think about it, a fight starts standing up. Nobody ever starts on the ground, you know what I mean? So we had to take a break, and then once we took a little break, and I came back full force, and now it's just like I'm just slowly progressing every day. So I think, like I said, I didn't like it at first because, it's kind of like when your parents are telling you to do something and they know it's going to help you out, but you don't want to do it and you can't see how much it's going to help you in the long run. That's kind of how it was, and then now it's just like, okay, like my wrestling's good, my stand-up keeps getting better, so I'm excited.
And that's the thing, it keeps growing, it keeps developing, that's every fight's a different fight. Your fighting style, man, what made you have your kind of style? And what I mean by that, folks, if you've not watched CJ before, is you're very relaxed with your arms, you're quite open, you're not, your arms aren't uptight, you're quite relaxed, they're quite kind of around the middle of the body, so to speak, they're floating. Is that just because you feel more comfortable with that, or is it just something you think works better stylistically?
Well, really, I watch a lot of fighters, and one of my favorite fighters that, like, to this day, even when he was in the WEC, was Dominic Cruz.
Yeah.
And I love his footwork. I love how he holds his hands. Because a lot of people don't see, in the cage what's really going on, because they're just like, like you said, my hands are down, and, to the naked eye, they don't realize what's going on. But I kind of use a great philosophy from Bruce Lee, ABD, attack by drawing in. Obviously, if you have a guy that, you see a guy's hands down, you're like, oh, man, he can't get his hands up to punch me in time. And before you know it, you're already jabbed. Like, I mean, I kind of adapted to it. And I watch Dominic Cruz a lot. I watch Stephen Thompson. One of my training partners, Justin Scoggins, does the same thing, and it works for him. It's something that a lot of people don't train for. And plus, I feel more relaxed, like you said, just because if you're always in a tight ball with your hands up and your chin down, it's just like, man, like after a while, you start getting tired of it. I like just being free and flowing and just having fun, really.
And you mentioned a little bit of name dropping there. I like that. Smooths, Justin Scoggins. Yeah, he's very. He's like a Stephen Thompson in that kind of, the movement and the way the footwork. He's very relaxed with his arms. You're right. I get exactly what you mean there. He's got a fight coming up as well against Mr. Creepy. It's a good fight. It's a very big fight for Justin. I suppose that's kind of good for you. The fact that you've got him being in having a fight shortly, because you'll be pumped up for your fight. Using his momentum and peaking up around the same time together.
Yep, I can't wait. I mean, I remember when he told me who he was fighting, and I was just like, it's already over. I mean, like, he's an animal, and I love training with him. And more so, it might sound weird, but I love getting beat up by him. You know what I mean? Because it's just like, it's fun, man. I mean, like, I learned so much from him, and even though he's younger than me, he's been fighting longer than I have, because I've only been fighting for about 3 years. He's been fighting all his life, and every time we train together, I take something from him. And even his little brother, Jared Scoggins, the whole Scoggins crew, like, I love their whole family. Like, they're awesome, and I love going up there to train with them, because I know for a fact that I'm going to get better.
Yeah, exactly. That is the thing. You get better when you train with specific people, knowing that they've got these skill sets. And obviously, Justin Scoggins, he's one of the top. He's one of the top flyweights really now in the UFC, especially after his previous wins. He's got the big fight. You know, that is a really big marker for him. If he can finish, I wouldn't even say if he finishes. If you get to the win, you know, it's a good kind of name to have on your record. When you're training then with him to help him prep, do you find then that you're trying to stylistically be similar to Ian McCall with his with his fighting style, or do you like to just be yourself still? You know, because some fighters like to get their training partners to mimic just even a bit.
It depends, man. I mean, like, you know, we train, like, you know, every other week or so. Just, I mean, because, like, our team trains out there in Revolution, mixed martial arts. Jimmy Bella, awesome coach, and you know, we're good with them, and we go up there every once in a while. And you know, when I go up there, it's to work, and you know, it really depends on what they want me to do, what Justin wants me to do. You know, I'll ask him if there's, like, do I need to go a certain way, and he'll tell me. But to be honest with you, man, it's just it's hard to try and mimic some guys in a way, but I don't feel like Ian McCall will have anything that he hasn't seen before. So I mean, it's to me, when we go together, we just go. It's just, you know, let's see what I can learn or what I can do with Justin this time.
Well, hang on a minute. Ian McCall's got a beautiful moustache, so I'm not being funny. You know, Justin could step in there and he could just be bedazzled by that wonderful moustache, and then it could be all over. So, you know, that's something you should really prepare him for.
Yeah, well, I don't know, man, because Justin has a good head of hair on him right now. He's looking like a Super Saiyan, so he might be bedazzled by that. So it's the battle of the facial hair and the head of hair. So
the hair off. Okay, I like it. Look, let's talk about the flyweights, because it got recently announced, the Ultimate Fighter. They finally did do the Ultimate Fighter flyweight, so to speak. They got a handful of big names in there. Outside of the UFC, champions, etc., from different organizations. Do you see this then as a good opportunity for yourself? Because these guys are going to get a lot of focus. That probably means that there's going to be vacant flyweight titles with various promotions. There's going to be a chance for, you know, guys to be stepping up to the plate then to replace them, but also there'll be focus on more flyweights due to this kind of TV show that's going to kick off. It's not started yet, but are you thinking about that at all? Did you, when you saw it, did you check the names out? Anything like that?
Well, like, officially the first time I saw it was the week of my fight, my last fight, and they were talking about the tryouts.
Yes.
Before they canceled it. And you know, with my fights, I just take it one fight at a time, one day at a time. I don't look forward to the future. And I mean, I had all my friends tagging me on Facebook, and I'm just like, you know, I have a fight Friday. I don't care about this tryout right now.
Yeah.
My focus is right now on Fight Friday. And we were going to go, and then they canceled it. But I mean, now that they have their cast, that's fine. Like you said, there's a lot of vacant belts. Legacy, the match now, he's on the show now, so that belt's vacant. Of course, a couple other ones, but you know, I mean, it is what it is. You know, right now, the only thing I'm worried about is Cody Gableman and August 13th. But after that, hey, if anybody else calls me and they want to do it, we can do it. But right now, the task at hand is August 13th, and you know, completing that task and completing that mission. But of course, yeah, I saw the names and stuff like that, and I thought it was pretty cool because, you know, I fought in the promotion that, you know, Schnell and Damasio Page was in. So, I mean, that's cool, but like I said, I'm not really too much concerned about it. Just right now, I'm just concerned about August 13th.
No, you're right. Absolutely, it's right to be concerned. Obviously, with the fight, it's something you should be focused on. I suppose because it just happened now. I was kind of thinking, I wonder what kind of point of view is on this one. And there's a lot of things going on. For example, Chad Mendes just got his 2-year suspension by USADA. Look, Brock Lesnar failed his. It's great that USADA. Well, I say USADA. Sorry, let's rephrase that again. It's good that the promotion, i.e. the UFC, are bringing this into place. They're looking to rectify all this kind of, let's say, bending of the rules by fighters in the past, and it's now getting cleaned up. For yourself, though, as a fighter, when you look into it, you probably yourself know that there's been, you might have known fighters that maybe dabbled in the Mexican supplement department, let's say. Do you yourself, when you see it happening, do you get relief? Do you feel relief every time you see a name pop up? You think, happy days, that's one more down. Just watch them slowly get knocked off and knocked off another one and another one. Is it? I like it. I'm not shocked. I don't get shocked by any name, by the way, because I think, look, Lance Armstrong was juiced up to the gills on whatever he was on, and he doesn't look like Brock Lesnar. It doesn't mean that you have to look like someone, but at the same time, you must, if you're a clean fighter yourself, you must feel happy that you see this happen,
Yeah, I feel like this, and me and my coach have talked about this, after the whole John Jones thing has happened. Now all these guys are getting hit with it. I mean, to me, if you have to do that, if you have to cheat in a way that you have to do stuff like that, then I feel like I wouldn't even do it. If I feel like that I have to get over somebody with more testosterone or, steroids or stuff like that, then I don't really want to do it. I want to do it on my own strength, my own power, my own will. So, yeah, they deserve to get suspended. That's just so dumb, man. I mean, you're a professional athlete, right? And this is your job. You can't cheat on your job. You don't want to cheat on your job. And you're cheating yourself. And, I mean, could you imagine if Mark Hunt and Brock Lesnar fought, say, for an interim title, say like Miocic is hurt or something, they fought for an interim title, and Brock Lesnar won because he was on some stuff. Like, and he, like, to me, I feel like you're more of a loser if you can just actually just be like, you walk away and thinking you're a winner because you cheated. Like, come on, man. But I mean, I'm not surprised. There are a lot of guys that do stuff, but they just don't get caught. But I feel like now you saw us like cracking down on these guys, so. I'm cool with it. They can like, once I get in the UFC, they can come test me all they want. They'll never find anything. So, I mean, it doesn't bother me. The only thing I take is protein and probably a little bit of amino acids, but that's about it. So.
I like it. Yeah, like you said, it's a good thing. It cleans up, and also it means that anyone looking outside in can sit there and go, well, actually, they're not all cheaters, and if the cheaters are doing it, they're getting caught. At least they're trying to clean up the act, so to speak. I find that it's a good, positive thing. In the sense of, you look at Pride. I love Pride. I feel that maybe if they bring Pride back, they should say, look, if you want to get jacked up, go ahead. Go join Pride. If you want to be clean, we're going to test the living shit out of you and come in the UFC, so to speak. I think you should at least give the option of both, because do you know what? I did not mind watching Vanderlei Silva back in the day when he was jacked to the gills and just going through people, murking them. I won't lie. I enjoyed that, but at the same time, let's not get USADA in the NFL, because I think you might not have any teams left.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people, like, even like, if you look at, these countries getting ready for the Olympics, a lot of people are getting dinged.
Yeah, Russia.
Russia's getting dinged every day. So,
it's a good thing,
Just be clean, that's it. That's all we're asking.
Exactly, especially when, I think that if you're doing bodybuilding, like, crack on, because you're not hitting anyone, you're not physically fighting. I don't care if people do it if they're doing something that's not maybe a physical combat sport. I'm like, if you're doing it for maybe aesthetics reasons, you just want to be looking awesome in your shorts on the beach, or like I say, if you're competing like a bodybuilding competition, whatever. I'm like, go ahead. I don't care what you do, But if you're doing something like combat sports, then it gets a bit murky and it's a bit shitty on the opponent.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So look, your fight coming up against Mr. Cody. Cody himself. Do you let your coaches revise and study this guy, or do you like to look into him a little bit yourself just to get an idea of who he is and what he's going to bring to the table?
We both. It's both sides. I probably do it maybe a little bit more than my coaches, but I'm not gonna say that I do because Chuck is always studying. But he. I mean, we already know what's going on, so we got a good idea. And like I said, I'm just looking forward to this fight's gonna be huge, and it's just time to have fun.
It is. It's going to be a great time. It's going to be an awesome fight. I know everyone's going to enjoy watching the fight. The fight card itself. But I know that if you're living in the UK, or if you're living in China, or if you live in South Africa, you can actually watch the fights live because they're streamed on Flow Combat. So that's FLO Combat, not the proper spelling. It's all hip and down with the kids, or hippity hop. Flow Combat, you go on there, subscribe. I think it's like a monthly or yearly subscription or whatever. But they've not just got that Valor Fights; they've got loads of stuff on, people. Loads of stuff. So do tune in and not only watch this fight, but watch a hell of a lot of other stuff. They've even had that Chael Sonnen submission only kind of grappling competition, all sorts of stuff. They had Jake Shields versus Mike Pyle. Mike, was it? Yeah, I think I can't remember who it was now, but yeah. They've got loads of stuff on there. Tune in. Definitely watch that, people. CJ, before I let you shoot off, my friend, how about you let not just me know, but let everyone else at home know what your social media is so they can jump on, give you a follow, and join you on your little journey to the top, to the limits, which is the UFC, the Olympic gold, so to speak.
Yes, sir. Alright, so my name is CJ Hamilton. My Twitter name is CJizzle, CEEJIZZLE 125. You can go ahead and follow me on there. You can follow me on Instagram as well, same thing, CJizzle 125. And on Facebook, I'm DOZIER Hamilton. And just go ahead and give me a follow, and I'll definitely follow you guys back. Snapchat, the Autobot 125.
Careful with the dick pics, folks. Not too many.
No.
What about sponsors, my friend? Who's helping you out with sponsors and stuff?
Oh, yes, sir. First of all, I would like to thank Contemporary Martial Arts. My whole team, Brandon Webb, Jay Gray, Chase Bobbington, my dietitian, Carolina Coffin, my coach, Chuck Coffin, Jim Robinson, my wrestling coach, my Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu coaches, Adam and Rory Singer, Jimmy Fowler, Justin Scoggins, Judd Scoggins. I would also like to thank Northeast Georgia Pools, Eagle Oil, Pinnacle Investments, Fight Junkie, Mark Miles. I would like to also thank everyone who has been a part of this, all my fans. It's almost time, baby. 3 more weeks and it's showtime. I guarantee
Not long at all.
A&D Cycles, and everyone else. I appreciate it.
It is going down very soon. Look, CJ, enjoy the rest of your fight camp. Have a great time. Just enjoy what you're doing. Keep looking forward to the fight. Have a great weekend as well at the event. Have a great fight itself. I'm sure everyone in the crowd is in for an absolute stellar fight with the pair of you, and also everyone watching on Flow Combat. Look, again, thank you very much for joining me, having this conversation, having a great time, and again, speak to you soon, my friend.